Hello, and welcome to another video for Battle Champion. It's been a long time since the last one, but there's been a lot going on since then. After 3 years, the core of the game is finally done. There's still quite a lot of testing to do, but I'm considering the game to be in beta now. For today's video, I thought I'd go over the beginning of the game a bit, so I guess this is kind of like a let's play of the beta version. So to start with, there's been some substantial changes to the title screen, which I think looks a lot better now. There's been a number of sort of similar visual updates throughout the program. So we're going to go ahead and erase our old save data so we can start fresh. So the game starts with a bit of a tutorial here that sort of introduces the various facilities and gets you set up with a couple monsters. So we start off by going to the shop. So the first thing we have to do is play the gacha. So normally, like, the gacha sort of rotates out every week, but for the beginning of the game, you don't start with any monsters at all, so you always get to pull on this thing called the beginner's banner. The first gacha is not really random. You always get 2 monsters from this banner to start with. So let's go ahead and see what we get. So there's also this new animation for the gacha, which shows little colored balls coming out. I think this enhances the experience. Okay, so who'd we get? Okay, so we got Droplet and Feather here. We got a variety of different types of candy. I got some speed candy packs. This looks like a good start. So the next thing it's going to make us do is go feed the monsters, so we'll go ahead and do that. We've seen the feeding interface before, so there's not really too much new here, but feeding the monsters is sort of how you power them up. So, let's see. I guess I'll give Droplet the speed candies. And then I'll give the attack candies to Feather. Okay. So next thing we're going to have to do is do a battle. So for the training battle, it's actually sort of rigged so that the monster they give you is one that your monster deals with easily. In this case, we have Little Fang over here, who has medium armor and deals pierce-type damage, which is not very effective against Droplet, who deals strike-type damage and has light armor. So we have a pretty good chance to win, as long as we pick the first monster for this fight. You can actually use the second monster, but it would be harder. Okay, so for the first battle, there's not really a lot we can do. We have only one move, so we basically just have to choose that move every time. A big change since last time is that you no longer have to just repeatedly click on this button, like you used to have to just click over and over again. You can now sort of pre-select moves instead, and then they'll activate as soon as your turn bar becomes full. So I think that's a pretty good quality of life upgrade there. There's also now a background in the battles, and there's just been a couple other little sort of visual updates like that as well. There's now like this indicator of how many monsters you have alive, and small things like that. So we've almost got him here. Okay. So we won. It actually doesn't really matter if you win the first battle or not. The tutorial would still continue either way, but because we won, we got an extra 50 coins for it. So the last thing we have to do is go to the Monster Center, which is how you learn new moves in the game. So you get to send the monster out on an expedition. So normally this kind of thing takes a sort of certain amount of real time to complete. But so one of the changes I made to the tutorial recently is now whoever you send out will actually learn their first move instantly. So we have a choice of who we want to send out here, but I think I'm going to go with Feather. And I'm going to go ahead and learn the attack move. So in terms of which moves are available here, this will depend on which candies you fed them. Because I fed Feather 5 strength candies, I have the option of the strength move as well. Otherwise, you would sort of have to take this move, which is sort of gained by feeding 5 of any candy. But we're going to go with the strength move instead. Okay, so then we can just go pick them up immediately, because the tutorial expedition finishes immediately. Oh, and we also got extra candy, which is nice. That'll help. Okay. So that basically does it for the tutorial. We now sort of have the ability to do whatever we want. Oh, and another thing that was sort of changed is now, for the first 48 hours you play the game, expeditions are faster, and battles don't take as much sort of stamina. This was done to sort of speed things up a little bit at the beginning of the game. I think the game sort of moves at a good pace once you have a number of monsters, and then you can sort of send some of them out, you can battle with some of the others, and everything just sort of flows nicely. But at the very beginning, when you don't have as many monsters, sort of there could sometimes be not as much to do, which is why I wanted to sort of make expeditions a little bit faster in particular, so you don't have to wait too long after sending your monster out to be able to use it again. Oh, and here's our daily challenges. So actually, the first one happens to be possible. I guess the second one is too. But the first one in particular is something we can easily do here, which is just win 3 battles. Maybe we'll try to do that. And then there's also feed candies, although I don't think I have that many. So one other thing we can do right now is that because it's Wednesday today, we can actually do a free 1 pull on the gacha. Basically, every Wednesday there's a free pull, and there's also a bonus on Sunday where expeditions cost only half as much. So I guess in theory, you could just sit here and restart the tutorial over and over again until you get a monster. I'll leave it up to your imagination whether I've done that or not, but let's see if we get one. And wow, we got the skill crystal instead. That's like even more hype. Okay, so what these are, these basically allow your monsters to learn moves that they would not otherwise learn. So if I had a Bree evolved into its last form, Gorgonzilla, I could learn a new move using that. The skill crystal is actually much rarer than a monster, so it's kind of hilarious that we got that instead. So I guess now I should really try to get my hands on a Bree at some point. But anyway, that's not going to change things for us in the immediate, the short term here. So I guess we're just going to try doing a couple battles. So Feather is by far the best choice right now because we got that extra move, which is Flying Kick. So he now has like 2 types of moves that he could use. And of course, we immediately go up against someone where neither of those moves are useful. But so we're just going to Wing Slash against Soul. Now that's still pretty good damage. Soul's very slow, so criticals are decently common against it. Right now I'm mainly using Wing Slash because it's 100% accurate. Flying Kick has a small chance to miss, which would be bad in what's likely going to be a fairly close battle like this one. But I think we're looking pretty good. Unless we get hit by a critical, I would say this one is in the bag. One thing is that because my monster is very weak... Oh, actually, maybe not. I may not win this. Well, this is actually going to be like a photo finish here. We'll see if my move outspeeds or not. I think it's actually not going to. Come on, Feather, you can do this. Nope. I shouldn't have trusted you. Oh well. That was the nail biter. We could have really used another critical there. Oh well, we'll try again. Feather should have a pretty good time against almost everyone here. Okay, this is much better. We have the advantage here with Wing Slash against Droplet. So we should be in pretty good shape for this one. Now, I'm still getting hit pretty hard, but I'm faster, so I'm pretty confident on this one here. It looks like it's going to be a 3-shot. You might notice that the computer is only using 1 move. That's basically because their strength sort of scales to ours. So since we are very weak, they're using sort of very low-level monsters that only have a single attack. Okay, so we got a little bit of money there. That's good. We'll see if we can win a couple more. That's another Droplet. Well, we'll just go with the same strategy again. These battles are sort of perhaps not the most dynamic compared to what you experience later in the game, but at the same time it sort of gives you a little bit of a chance to get used to sort of the basics of how the game works and how your monsters operate and so on before you have to jump into the ones that are very complicated. You can check out some of the previous videos if you want to see sort of a more nuanced look at how gameplay works with many monsters in your team. Oh, I can't believe he critical to me. Well, Feather is not looking as good as I'd hoped here. I guess we could let Droplet try one. Oh, okay. It's like time for Droplet's revenge against Feather. Well, we'll see who's better. Oh, great, we missed. I just don't have the luck today. Come on, critical him. This is not looking promising. I don't think even a critical would win it at this point. That miss really hurt. How come the computer never missed against me? Well, this is an interesting start. Alright, let's go back and give these things more candies, because obviously they're not quite up to snuff yet. What else have we got? Oh, we can just give him, how about some defense, and then maybe 3 more attack. Alright, let's go try again. Alright, Feather. I'm expecting better things this time. Now, this is looking a bit concerning right off the bat. Although we are a lot faster. So we've also now fed the monsters enough that we're getting into sort of the different enemy movesets. This guy has 2 attacks. And it looks like he's going to make fairly short work of me again. That's sort of one of the things about the games. When you go into these 1 versus 1 battles, there's a fair degree of luck. That's sort of one of the advantages of getting into having more monsters, so you can do 3v3 battles, where you can then sort of use your team synergy to overcome sort of matchup dynamics, which otherwise you're almost totally at the mercy of initially. So we've run out of stamina, but one of the first things you get is always a stamina ticket, so we can play a little bit more here. Okay, this looks a little better. I think we should be able to beat Tongue. Oh, there we go. We finally got a critical hit. That helps. That move can also miss. Oh my god, he lived on 1 health. Please miss. Unbelievable. This is not great either. I can't really hit his weakness here. Tumble is weak to pierce attacks, which is the one type of attack I don't have yet. Poor Feather's kind of getting put through the ringer here. But I am going to get that 500 coins somehow or other. I don't think he's going to come out on top in this one either. Come on, get a critical. This is why it's really important to make sure you always rig your demos. Come on, Feather. What am I going to do with you? Okay, this might be doable. But I have to rely on flying kick here, which can miss. Okay, we've got type advantage. Alright, I think this one is looking good, unless I miss like 2 flying kicks in a row. Alright, we got him. That's 2. We need 1 more. Come on, Feather, you can do this. This should be possible too. Here we are up against Jellyfish. I'm probably going to get shocked sooner or later, yeah. So that's going to make my moves charge super slow. Hopefully I still have enough of an advantage to win this. It's going to need 2 more hits. Oh boy. The next hit on me is probably a damage range. He's also outspeeding me a lot. This is going to be close. Come on, just critical him. There are never any crits when you need them. Okay, I've got 1 HP, but he actually might attack first. It's going to be really close. No, I think I... Oh, no, I got him! Haha, alright. I feel like some bonus money here. So you can see, we did it. We finally struggled through 3 battles. That seemingly took a long time. We got the extra 500 money. That's still not really a lot to do anything with. You actually get, a discount the first time you try to do the 11x. But we still don't have anywhere near 2,500 money. I'll take a little bit of time. But still, that's a little bit of money that we could use to send someone out with. I guess we'll let Feather try to redeem himself for the last couple battles of my remaining stamina. This is another one where I feel like he should be able to win. Oh, that helps. Yeah, we've got a huge advantage in this one. Where were you before when I was getting beat up, Sprout? Oh, that was very decisive. And we can try one more time. Nope, it's the mirror match. Although I probably have the edge, because I don't know if the enemy has flying kick or not, which is very important here. Oh, he does. And he's also slightly faster than me. Well, this is going to come down to who misses. Oh boy. So there's one thing we can do here. If he tries to flying kick again, I can actually wing slash and I should outspeed. It's just a matter of, is this gonna kill? It did. I got you. Okay, so Feather sort of redeemed himself a little at the end there. We still don't have a lot of money, but I guess we could try playing the gacha twice just for fun to see if we can get anything. Come on, monster. Nope, that was a shard. We'll try one more. Gambling on single pulls is definitely not an efficient use of money. Oh, we actually got... Oh, no, that's a rematch ticket. That doesn't help us. Oh, and now I can't even send someone out on an expedition. Oh, actually, I can send out this one, because it's free. So Droplet can go learn a move. your first expedition with a monster is always free. Another thing that was added here is this substantial Tamer help section, which contains a lot of sort of explanations about the game. You can see sort of some of them have little pictures that explain things. So there's a lot of good information in here. But I guess that's probably about going to finish it up for our little Let's Play for the moment, since we've run out of stamina. But so you can play a decent amount at the very beginning. And Droplet would be back in about 2 hours and would have a new move. So it doesn't take too long to sort of get set up at the beginning. You're not sort of intended to grind through this game for just hours on end. But if you come back in a little bit, you'll have all of your stamina back and you can do battles with Droplet and so on. So that's about going to do it for now. So thank you for watching this video. And hopefully, in not too long, I'll be able to announce that the game is actually available to download.